Welcome to Miami's Man Cave, and I have someone joining me right here in the Man Cave today, the one and only Rich Roffman. And you guys may know Rich, famed publisher, radio talk show host. I mean, the man could do everything. Rich?
Can you
shine my shoes right now?
Yeah, I started as a Muppet on Sesame Street. It's remarkable how far you can go in this country.
I think
you never know. You can,
honestly,
I'm a Muppet. I want to do better.
Yes,
I mean, it killed Jim Henson.
It
but what
sure
the hell?
did, and you got this sort of Jim Henson thing going about you. You know, the hair's still good. I'm surprised after all these years, I'm losing it by the day.
Finasteride.
But I want to ask you a question before we start getting into this.
Absolutely.
How many publications exactly have you published? Because there's been a lot over
15.
the years. 15.
15.
You know that right?
Not including my Haftorah from my bar mitzvah. That doesn't count. That would be 16. A little short.
Yes.
I didn't understand it, and I don't. Right. It's a little archaic.
Yes.
But no, 15
what
magazines.
Of the 15, what was the one you loved the most? Is there a favorite child? They're all like children. Which is your favorite child?
Actually, it's about children. It was called Smart Kid.
Really?
Yeah, no one ever saw it.
I remember. No,
Smart Kid magazine. After we did, JP and I did Latin Trade magazine, which was enormously successful. I mean, sold it for a lot of money. We came back and we decided to go do a wealthy family kid magazine. Things to do with your kids if you have a lot of money.
Right.
So, of course, unfortunately, the exact same year, Jan Wenner from Rolling Stone came up with the same idea, right? Unbeknownst to us. So we came out with it, and it was the most creative, most brilliant thing we ever did. It was a work of art. We had an art director who was a graphic designer who was a real artist, and he created modern art that was off the wall at the level of Magritte. No kidding.
Really?
He just didn't do apples and bowler hats, but he had really good artwork, and he lives on Key Biscayne, and it was the most remarkable thing we ever did. To be very honest with you, it was great. So to me, that was the most creative thing that I did. It didn't work. I mean, obviously, Jan Wenner, what did he do? That's right, killed us. We lasted about a year. And then
But that was your favorite child?
It was the coolest book we ever did because it was literally a work of art. The other one, there were other magazines that we did, including, we did one called Cuba Trade, which I didn't exactly do in downtown Miami.
Are you kidding me?
No, I didn't. We didn't. It didn't.
Did you get? I would imagine
it didn't appear in Miami.
I would say that probably
because the flak jacket was heavy.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Yes,
I always felt that I was going to get attacked.
I can understand.
I probably was the word is yes, I would.
I can understand that because years ago I managed WKAT. And at the time, it was Spanish language when I first started managing it. And we had a guy named Julio Sanchez Cristo on the air who took the position back then. The Elian Gonzalez thing was going on. He took the position that Elian should be sent back to Cuba with his mother. Yeah. And that instituted or created many bomb threats at our radio station.
Well, but that was a really good moral discussion. I remember that because whatever magazine, I had business magazines here. So I remember that clearly. And I was good friends with Janice Rito, by the way, in the day. I used to go to her house on Friday nights and drink, John Minahan, myself, and like 8 other people, and peacocks.
Oh, yeah. She had them all over the place.
Well, she had all the retired people from NBC.
Yeah.
So she had good drinks. I mean, she's a big woman. But
big woman.
Big woman. But it was a really moral.
Beautiful niece, by the way.
Really?
Oh, my God. Her nieces.
Why didn't you? I was single. They never told me that. They kept saying,
it would have been nice.
But look at the peacock.
Yes.
Doing
forget the peacock. Look at her niece.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. But we did this magazine with the U.S. Agricultural Coalition for Cuba. It was a really cool book, and we started from scratch. It wound up on every newsstand at every airport in the United States, including MIA, by the way.
Okay,
but it wasn't in mainstream Miami.
Gotcha.
Transit Miami, people coming in and out. And we worked with 18 governors and all the congressmen and senators, and probably some of the folks that you knew. And all the NGOs for getting products. Cuba was our 9th most successful trading partner for agricultural products before Castro came along.
Yes.
You could Well, I mean, I guess you could swim it there if you wanted to. I mean,
And oh no, and it was a thriving, great economy.
amazing economy.
Yeah.
And so we did this magazine working with, beans and poultry and rice and all these different things in different states. And then I got really good friends with the people and the governors. And, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I wound up having a home in Cuba for almost 2 years.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Really?
Yeah. Because we were staying at the Saratoga, which was where all the Anglos would stay until the Kapinski was built. And it was 780 and up a night for a room probably the size of your water closet.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you get up quick in the night to go pee and you go in the wall. You just bang into the wall. You don't pee, but you take a hit to the head. But so we decided that doing that was ridiculous. So we through a Chilean married to a Cuban, we wound up with an incredible 3-bedroom apartment, including, Atticus Spartacus, right out of the South Beach thing that
Right.
the movie that Robin Williams did.
Yes.
With Gene Hackman.
Right.
Yeah, and they had the houseboy, Birdcage. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. And we had him. He was there and he was gay and it was wonderful. And he goes, "Oh, I have some fruit. What do we have at breakfast this morning? Fruit.
A lot of fruit.
Where'd you get it? Don't ask.
Yes.
Don't ask." So he had all this food, did all this stuff, and I was there like 18 times.
Wow. Wow. I've never been to Cuba. I've wanted to, but so then it's all these magazines. You're kind of one of these guys. And then all of a sudden you decide to use this, which I told you the first time I met you, you have a great voice.
Yeah.
What propagated you to want to get into the radio talk show business?
Yeah, I dropped bad acid.
Anyone who gets into it's got to be on drugs.
It was the mushrooms.
Yes.
I don't know. I'll tell you what it was. That after doing all these magazines, and this was around 2005, because I had just sold Latin CEO and South Florida CEO, another successful magazine, and I wanted to stay in media, but I didn't want to have to do magazines anymore, and I didn't want to have a huge staff. I didn't want any employees or anything. So I said, I give speeches all over the country about this stuff, and I could talk, I can do this. So a good friend of mine,
Elena Carpenter,
who I had this crush on since 1978.
Elena Carpenter Smith now.
Yeah. Well, I know her husband.
Yes,
Michael. And he's a nice guy.
Great guy.
I would cuckold him in a minute.
Yes, me too.
Just want to be clear on that.
Yes.
Everyone to know that.
Who wouldn't?
Absolutely. It was the right thing, by the way. And they voted on that in the last election. Who would do Elena? And everyone said yes.
Yes.
So, but I wanted to get into the media, and I thought talking, just like we're doing right now, would be fun.
Yes.
So everyone said, get a hold of Andy Korge. That's how I met you.
Me.
To Elena.
Me? Andy Korge?
Yeah, Andy Korge.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
You had the studio over Cafe Abbracci.
Yes.
So it was fun because you could go there, do your show, and have a salad.
Yes.
So it was kind of cool.
Yes. An overpriced salad.
An overpriced salad.
Yeah.
But
poor Nino. I don't mean to get off topic here.
Oh, he was
But poor
what a
Nino.
loss to the city.
Cafe Abbracci and Nino was Cafe. I haven't been back.
He was an ambassador
since he died.
No, I have a lot. But,
have you?
But it's not. It was never quite the same.
No.
The food was fine, but Nino. It's really funny. I knew Nino many years before, and then I bombed out. I didn't stay around for a while. I didn't go there for many years. The first time I walked in, he gave me an abrazo fuerte, with fire in this.
Yes.
And he remembered everything.
Yeah.
He
was
knew
an amazing,
everybody.
He was an amazing person. Never forgot a name. Remembered your kids' names, your wife's name.
Yeah.
He remembered everything about you, what you did. He was a true restaurateur, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then radio just happened. And I know you've been in it now for many years now.
So I spoke to you and you said, you could do this. This sort of like, with Woody Allen in Bananas. You can do this. You can be a doctor. No, come here. You do the surgery.
Yes.
So he did the surgery.
Like Woody Allen with Bananas minus the snake bite, right?
Yeah. Well, that was a funny scene. And everyone's going after to suck the venom.
Of course. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, right. It gets us back to Elena.
Yes.
So you put me in. You put me in your studio, and you introduced me to Tony, and we got on. Salem,
right?
And we started the show, and the first show was the most terrifying moment of my life.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I remember the look on your face.
It was like
day.
2 hours long or 3 hours. I forget what it was. It was a long show.
2-hour show.
Yeah, 2-hour show. Right. And so I have enough material for 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're like looking at the end of your thing and going, well, wait, I'm at the end.
Yeah, I've done 27 topics already, and we're only 5 minutes into the show. Now what do I talk about?
What?
Let me talk about my French shoes.
Let's go to a commercial break.
Let's go to a commercial.
Be right back.
Let's do that. We'll be right back.
Yes.
So that was, and I never sweat. I don't sweat. I don't know what happened. I just don't sweat. I was like out of a shower that day. It was the most terrifying moment of my life.
I don't mean to laugh.
No,
but I remember your face that day when you walked in that office in that studio. I saw
which was fun, by the way.
The look of terror in your face.
Oh, it's pure terror.
And I'm trying to calm you down. I'm like, don't worry, Rich. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry. So what if it's live on the air and you can't, I mean, unlike this, we can edit this and whatever, but that's live radio. I mean, that's real.
Yeah. But I loved it. I mean, once you get into it, and if you're okay with it, then it becomes addictive.
It does.
And I like to talk. So yeah, I realized that it'd be a good idea to have a little preparation. So I started preparing, and then we got sound bites, and then we built it up, and I 2 hours for every hour that I'm on to research. This is what I do now.
And you had the lovely Wanda Miles.
I
love Wanda.
Wanda's great.
Yes.
Absolutely. In fact, Wanda's here. She's outside right now. She's just looking at some of the cars that have been parked here.
And by the way, that is the Wanda Miles. That's 9 years on WLRN, public radio. NPR
in the morning.
She was just fantastic. When I did the radio show at 1210 The Man, she was my producer the last year. And the thing that I always loved about Wanda was that she would say maybe 5 words in an hour, but they were the 5 most effective words in that hour. Like, she knew how to wind me up and keep me going.
Well, she had a great voice, and she was very calming.
She
was very calming.
And
yes. and to this day, I'm really good friends with Wanda.
Yeah, me too. I love Wanda.
And I did more shows with her.
So we're talking talk radio now.
Yeah.
So let's talk a few topics here.
Sure.
And see what's happening.
Yes.
And now that you're in the man cave, that's what we do. We talk about things happening in this crazy mixed bag of nuts of a community.
There was a guy handing out Viagra before I came in. Does he work for you?
The same one. Yes.
All right. Because I know Tommy is looking very excited right now.
He is.
Getting worried.
It was Tommy's birthday yesterday.
Oh, how nice.
He's, I think he's 54, Tommy. 55.
God, I remember that.
Yes.
No, 55 was good.
No, but dude, you look incredible for your age.
I'm old.
You look incredible. So topics here.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go.
Today, the last week.
Yeah.
I go on Facebook here and there. And the last week on Facebook, I've been seeing this movement to recall Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, our Miami-Dade County mayor.
Amazing.
And it just makes me think, and I want to get your opinion on it, because it makes me think, like, excuse my language, but what the fuck? I mean, like, what do we just recall whoever we want to? I can understand when someone's done something egregious. They've broken a law. They've done something really, really bad. Then, yes.
I could see, for example, if you have a mayor like the guy in Chicago, all right. He's a dummy. Yeah. He's a freaking dummy. And people are dying because of his stupidity. That would be a recall to me.
Okay.
You're not paying attention. Your people are dying on the streets every weekend. I mean, Thanksgiving weekend occurred. They must have thought everybody was a turkey because they're out killing somebody.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. But when you say, and I know that they're trying to recall, our mayor. I mean, why?
Yeah.
What has she done? I mean, I know her in Global Miami magazine, one of my magazines, and not really Coral Gables because it's too much of an insular city. But in Global Miami, I work very closely with the port and the airport. And those are the economic generators, and they're owned by, let me think, the
Miami-Dade County.
The Miami-Dade County.
Yes.
Like Billy did a great job at the port and all
right.
those. Okay, so the numbers that we have at the port and the airport, the economic generators that justify everything that we do in Miami, everything.
Yes.
We are the global city because of those two environments. They're spectacular. They're off the wall.
Oh, yes.
They're so pre-COVID, it's amazing. We have more airlines. We have more passengers. We are in the top 1 or 2 at the airport of all airports in the bloody world,
Right.
particularly in the United States, with international business, cargo. We're one of the few airports that has a pharmaceutical certification. There are only 3 in the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, only 3 in the world, not including Mi-13. There are only 3 in the world that that can actually have pharmaceuticals, and you can bring them through, and you can house them there because they have the right facility to do that
Okay.
next to the avocados, and we have that, and that's worth billions of dollars to us. So how and why would you want to take the person? She signs the check for that. It's her budget. She
Right.
runs it. I mean,
Well, I think that seems to be what I'm reading on these Facebook posts. It seems to be the essence of why people are saying we should recall her, because there was a $400 million deficit in the budget that they had to wrangle around this year for the county. But
yeah,
I interviewed Eileen Higgins last week, a candidate county commissioner.
yeah.
Now one of the 2 finalists in the runoff. It starts
I
today.
heard she's an ex-Rockette.
Yeah,
Is that? I mean, look
yeah.
at her legs next time.
I
She
I
can
only
kick
did
it. She can kick it.
she didn't come into the man cave, so I wasn't
Oh,
able to check out the
no, it
legs.
couldn't have been rude.
But
Yeah.
she explained during that interview that that the voters 2 years ago voted to set up 6 separate governments within the county. So the police department and that department is like its own government. All the parks and recreations like their own government. So because of that, they could not benefit from scale, having one auditor for all departments or one of this for all departments. Now they have to set up each department like it's its own government. She made the case that the county, the police department, for example, went from a budget just because of this vote from an $800 million budget to a $1.1 billion budget, $300 million in added costs just because the taxpayers believed that every one of these departments should be its own separate government, basically. So I think that's the essence of it, of why
Well, how do you
people.
feel about that?
I thought I voted against it. I didn't understand the
Being
rationale.
independent, each one being independent.
Yeah,
I don't get why you would do that.
I don't either.
Isn't it under the umbrella of the county government?
Yeah, and it's kind of
So there are benefits that you accrue as a result of
well,
that?
it's kind of counterintuitive if you think about
Yeah,
it.
I agree.
Companies develop other companies that they can share staff and whatnot with.
It's sort of like being in the publishing business, or you have a magazine. Magazines are very expensive. So my first magazine is bloody crazy expensive. I get a second magazine. All of a sudden I start sharing costs.
Right.
My manufacturing, which is the printing, comes down because I'm under the umbrella of the company and I get a discount. And the more product I do, the cheaper it becomes. And I spread the costs of a designer and things like that.
Right.
Salespeople across the platform, so to speak. So why would you want to take all these different departments that we have that could be sharing and doing and taking advantage of that as the private sector does, and then say, well, F it, we're going to go the other way.
It doesn't make
No,
sense.
let's do this. Let's go spend another $300 million.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
And so she said the reason the deficit's there, and defended the county mayor.
Yeah.
They're allies, obviously, but defended her and said, it was kind of out of the hands of. That's what Daniela Levine Cava has to wrestle with when they start the budget process every year. So I don't get it. I do know we did recall one mayor not that long ago, Carlos Alvarez, you might recall. I don't really remember the nature of why we recalled him. I think they were. It was in the midst of the 2008 collapse in America, and they weren't getting the monies from property taxes that they were. And so they had to cut staff. But meanwhile, the guys right around him were all getting raises. And I think that got the ire of the voters and caused his recall, which was, I think, funded by Norman Brayman, as I recall, back in those days. And so
it may have been more than that with Norman Brayman. I would look at that tax that existed that they wanted to put on the roads so they could do something with the roads, and Norman was pushing the hell out of that.
Right.
And
I remember that. Yes.
yeah, why? What does he do? That's right. Norman sold cars. So we want cars. We don't want mass transit and stuff like that
Right.
because they're not going to be in their cars. So I think when you look at things in government, and you've been involved a lot more than me in government because your whole family's involved in government, and you were a page when you were a
Yes, I
kid
was.
with Dante, right?
Yes, yes.
Who to
Correct.
this day I miss.
I miss him.
He was a
I
true patriot.
revere
He
Dante
was a good
Cassell.
Democrat.
Yes, it was incredible.
I liked him a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, he made me a lot of money, just when he was with the law firm. Oh, the
Yeah.
council.
Well, it did though. The port has his name on it, right?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And his parking space is still there, which
is
I
it?
find to be
Is
remarkable.
that right?
He doesn't need it, I don't think. I mean, we could ask,
Yes.
but they could probably take it off the budget. But yeah, so I'm like stunned with some of the stuff that I see. I don't trust anything that I see in the public anyway. I hate everyone. I mean, I'm from New York City, and most of the people I don't like. And a couple of dogs.
That's in your blood.
Most people, it's in my blood.
In your blood.
I can't help it.
Well, so that movement's on, Danielle Levine Cava, but I want to move to another topic, which is, so there's a video, and we're gonna show it on this. Yeah, no,
It's
not over there. Yeah,
oh,
it's
okay,
just
good.
a chair.
We're gonna look at the chair.
Yes.
Well, that's stimulating.
It is.
It is nice.
No, but this is not going to be stimulating because there was, unlucky for the ICE agents in the Florida Keys on the overseas highway, that just so happened to pull a woman out of her car pretty violently, I might add. And all of that was chronicled on a video. It just happened that
no, it went national.
It went all over
in
the
about
place.
a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were unlucky enough to have a Miami Herald reporter. I believe his name, let me look here. I don't remember what is up.
John Huddy.
David Goodho, or something like that.
Goodho. David Goodho.
Goodho.
Oh, how perfect is that for Miami? Yeah, he's a Goodho.
He's a Goodho.
All right, good.
But David apparently was there and chronicled it in a video that we've all seen. And
it's like the picture of Elian Gonzalez. Here's the tag back.
Yeah.
An arc in writing a script. That Elian Gonzalez photograph came out. It was unbelievable. Remember that?
Yes.
The kids like this, the people are screaming, the guns there.
Yeah.
Holy Christ. And it goes everywhere.
Everywhere.
They knew it in Moscow.
Yeah, of course.
It was unbelievable. They probably did know it in Moscow.
Well, this video, though, brings up another subject, and I want to know, you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat, and I don't know that this really...
Actually, to be perfectly honest, I define myself as a conservative first. I'm not necessarily Republicans. I don't embrace everything about Republican, but I'm a conservative. And actually, when it comes to certain issues, I'm kind of a liberal.
Yeah, I know you are.
That's my background.
Yeah.
Shut him down. I mean, I helped shut down Syracuse University, and I was there for Vietnam War.
Well, so I wonder what your take is on this movement by our federal government and ICE. We see it a lot down here because of the composition of who lives in South Florida.
Well, we're defined by the immigration. I mean, listen, I used to live in Key Biscayne, and they would come in. These poor folks would come in. Some from Haiti. Those are the ones that drowned.
Right.
No, seriously. I mean, they got screwed more than anybody else. And then the Cubans. Every night we find rafts with no people.
Yeah, but if the people are coming in for the purpose of escaping tyranny, escaping life-threatening situations in their country,
yes.
Do you think we have a moral responsibility to bring them in? What do you think our responsibility should be as Americans? I think at the end of the day, Rich, real quickly, I believe that's what really the main subject is. It doesn't get addressed. What should be our responsibility?
Who you should be interviewing is Emma Lazarus. Unfortunately, she's dead.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work.
Not going to happen.
No, not going to happen. But all right, here's my take on that. Number one, we are a country of immigrants. There isn't a person in this room that doesn't relate to an immigrant. Your parents or grandparents came from another place.
Yes.
My father came from Poland, depending upon the decade. Russia, Poland. He was actually a neighbor of the American Savings and Loan. Who's the guy who founded that? And Shepherd Broad.
Okay.
Right. They were actually friends.
Okay.
And actually, Shepherd was and Cassell was at my wedding to my first wife.
Okay.
They gave me my silver. I want you to know that the two of them split it up.
That you probably still have.
That I still have to this day.
For you.
Yeah. So here's my take. We're a nation of immigrants. We're all for immigration. I'm all for the melt. Here's the point. I'm all for the melting pot. When I was a kid in school in the 50s, and I graduated high school in 64, so makes me old. And we were taught that being in New York, especially, there's Ellis Island, there's the Statue of Liberty. You're infused with immigration as a
Yes.
child.
Yes.
It's what made New York.
Of
I
course.
mean, by definition, you have Little Italy, you have
Chinatown.
Chinatown, you have
Right.
Germantown, New
Germantown.
Yorktown
Yes.
up in the Upper East Side in the
Right.
70s. The Jews didn't go there because they, for obvious reasons, they thought they'd get rounded up and, sort of like we're doing now. But it was a remarkable place. And it's very important for us to have immigration. 100%. What concerns me is illegal immigration. When we would see the images of thousands of people rushing the border, the southern border, because the Canadian border, it's colder, they walk slower, they're
Yes.
going like this, they're freezing. The other ones are saying, I'm so freaking hot, I want to get out of here,
Get me
because
into
I
air
heard the U.S. has
conditioning.
air conditioning.
Yes.
A lot of them didn't even come. They came here for air conditioning, which is remarkable. And a lot of them have in the back, take me to carrier.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
Or carry me to carrier.
Or carry me to carrier.
Yeah.
Yeah. or I'm, trained.
I'm trained.
Those who could be, polyglot can go and say train. So, but I don't like illegal immigration. I think we do need to be very sensitive to those who are legitimately coming here. For example, Venezuelans. Now, I spent a lot of time in Caracas doing 2 major international magazines. I had a lot of friends in Caracas until, the morons came in, the communists came in, and Chavez came in, and they started seeing things degenerate and then get worse and then get worse. Then Maduro came in, and how bad could that be? He was a bus driver.
Yeah, went to shit.
So what's your qualification? Well, in Greyhound, I pet the dogs.
Right.
That's what I did. That was my job.
Right.
That dog that looks happy, I pet the dog to make it look good. So, but we can't have thousands of people coming here without knowing who they are. As long as they sign the book and they're processed.
But why is it then that our government can't write some real immigration legislation? I mean, listen, it seems like this administration, and I'm not trying to target the Republican administration, but they're so composed on deporting people. How about taking that time and energy and create some laws that naturalize people that, I know that, listen, I know for a fact, I'm in the vacation rental business.
That's right.
And the hotel management business.
I know. I used miles to come here today. I want you to know that.
Well, probably not our miles.
No, not your miles.
But
American Express.
But I know, like, we've had 3 housekeepers this year that just left the country, and they were hardworking people that, quite frankly, we had a hard time.
They left because of what? They're afraid they're going to get deported?
They were afraid they were going to end up
in jail. Were they illegal?
They probably were illegal.
Well, then they should be afraid.
Well, I mean,
they're justified to be afraid.
I understand, but I'm saying there's illegal people that are here, and then there's illegal criminals that are here.
Now, that's the point. Good thing you said. There's my segue. So you're right. There are probably people who came here who are good-hearted people who legitimately want to be here and do something good. Sort of like, I know it's cliche to say it, but there are jobs in California picking the lettuce and so forth. Like Cesar Chavez was out there. He invented the Caesar. No, he didn't do that. That was somebody else in L.A. But
I think that's a Curb Your Enthusiasm. No, the Cobb salad. The Cobb salad.
Yeah, exactly.
The Cobb salad.
The Cobb salad.
Who invented it?
Yeah, right. Dr. Cobb did that because he was cutting his during
Cobb.
surgery.
It was Bob Cobb.
Yeah,
actually.
Bob Cobb.
Yeah.
Amazing that he had an alliterative name. But no, seriously, there are people who come here for a reason, and I'm very empathetic and sympathetic. More than that, sympathetic to it. What worries me in this day and age is that we live in a very dangerous world. It's obvious. It's not a safe place. I travel a lot. I've been all over the world, in Asia, and you travel the world. And I saw your name in a restroom, by the way, in Beijing. It got me confused.
Hopefully not my phone number underneath it.
No, it wasn't. It was not your phone number. Your email. I don't know why, because maybe it's cheaper. But
you can get pictures.
Yeah, I think so. But I don't have a problem with people who legitimately need to be here, and I can be very sympathetic to it. What worries me is that when you have thousands of people a day coming across, and we don't know who they are, and we do know for a fact that of the total amount, a certain percentage are on the terrorist watch list. which my Aunt Sophie was on for a while, and I have no idea how. But seriously, on a terrorist watch list, we need to know who these people are, and you're not going to know who they are. I mean, I was just listening about the Afghanistan thing the other day, because now we're saying Afghans can't come into the country until they figure this thing out, because the guy, killed the 2 National Guards, which is horrible.
Yes,
I mean,
horrible.
freaking horrible. He should die for that. I'm sorry. He's gets a bullet in the head, which should be a blessing for him, because I don't think I want to be electrocuted. So, so I'm very, very conscious of that, Andy. And I don't know if we need new immigration law. We have laws. We just enforce the laws that we have.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is there are whatever that
you
number
want to bless this certain classification.
Well,
of
I think there's people that are here now. Is the solution just send them out of the country? The ones that serve a purpose, the ones that are working hard and following the laws of our country. I mean, why would we want them gone? What burden are they on society? Using, again, for example, those 3 housekeepers we have.
Yes.
What burden have they been on society? They haven't been a burden.
Well, since they left, how's your house been clean?
It hasn't
I'm
been
getting
easy.
a little worried now.
It hasn't been easy. We've had to go out and look for people, and there's certain jobs. Hey, my mom lived till she was 100 years old. At the end, we had a woman stay with her the last 7 years, live with her, that was here on a TPS or something from Honduras for 20 plus years. But she always paid her taxes. She always bought her insurance.
We had a Honduran maid in my house.
You did?
Hello, Nisha.
Yeah.
You should talk like that.
Oh, no. This woman was, literally, she elongated my mother's life, I think, by 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, my mom had somebody in the last 3 years.
And so, but I look at her and go, well, God, we could not.
Jamaican, by the way.
We could not find someone else to do that job, and certainly not at the level she did it at. So I just don't understand it. I think that we could devote more time trying to figure out how to legalize people that are already here. Yeah, stop the flow at the border. I get that.
Well, we've done that.
I think Biden made a huge mistake. I think it was a calculated.
Well, his guy lied about it. I mean, his guy was a moron.
Well,
who was in charge of Homeland Security.
I think what he did was he was trying to let that happen to force Congress to pass immigration legislation.
You actually think that?
Oh, I believe that. 100%.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
I don't believe that.
I think that's why he did it.
No, I don't think so.
Let those people in. Why do you think he did?
To actually control elections going forward. I thought it was more political than that. Hey, don't say I could have said to you.
I don't know.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree.
I don't agree with that.
No, I think
you're saying. Wait a minute. You're doing a Cloward Piven thing. Let's overload the system. You are, from Columbia University. These are guys that said overload the system, make it crash, and then you fix it by doing what you really want to do.
Exactly.
Kind of a Marxist thing, but.
Well, I think that's what his plan was.
Saul Alinsky.
Make it so bad at the border that these guys in Washington are going to say, we got to pass some legislation here.
The first thing you should do at the border is stop having Tex-Mex and have Chinese food, because they're not going to relate to it.
And they won't.
They're going to go, what is this?
Food.
They're going to stop coming.
No, but everyone likes Chinese food. And
even in Cuba, in downtown Cuba, old Cuba,
yes,
there's a Chinese neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah, because my home was there, and JP would say, "Let's go have Chinese food." I said, "They're killing rats." I said, "We're not having Chinese food in Cuba, right? Look at these restaurants."
Were they eating cats and dogs?
Oh shit, I don't know. I have no idea.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Nothing would surprise me. I mean, seriously, nothing would. It was a little stringy, maybe. I don't know, but
a little gamey. Tastes like chicken.
They all say that.
They did.
And they said, "What does rattlesnake taste like?" Chicken. You want to hear my rattlesnake story?
Everything.
I have a great story.
Sure, why not?
All right, so I'm at
You're
a dinner.
In the man cave.
This is a man cave. So I am over on Miami Beach at a gourmet restaurant that was in the Eden Rock, and I can't think of the name right now, but it was out of Washington D.C. Anyway, the night
was
that
it a Chinese restaurant?
No. It was a really high-end gourmet restaurant. They would serve like elephant. I'm serious. They would have things like that. I mean. Yeah, Jewish people don't eat that. I
gave up elephant years ago.
Honey, do you want to go to Rascal House? Or you want to have elephant? You know what I mean? That's a tough decision for a Jew. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Is it the high holy days? Maybe an elephant's not a bad thing.
As long as it's not pork, it's
Does it help us think? Yeah. So anyway, so I'm sitting with Ralph Rennick, also got dead. Ralph Rennick's there, and all the media's there. And they're all my friends, and they're your friends.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and there's a card on the table, big table, like table of 10, and that all over the place. And it was an 8-course dinner. And each course is listed, the numbers. And it's gourmet food, but unusual gourmet food.
Gotcha.
All right. So we get to the third course, and they serve it. They're putting it down. Ralph is there, and I'm tasting it. I'm like, wow, this is a little bit like chicken salad, but a little bit like tuna fish, but it tastes like chicken. Right? What is it? Ralph, tell me what it is.
Aardvark.
Close. So Ralph takes the card and he goes, rattlesnake. Rattlesnake. I'm eating a snake. My biggest fear in life are snakes.
Really?
Yeah, I only lived in a high-rise in New York City growing up, but I was convinced a snake was going to get me. It will escape from the Bronx Zoo, come on the subway, get to Manhattan, get to 20th Street in Irving Place, which is where I live, and it's going to bite the shit out of me, and I'm going to die, all right? This is my biggest fear, and I'm not kidding. My biggest fear, a repetitive nightmare, is that. So I put my napkin down. I said, excuse me for a few minutes. And I walk out and I go to the restroom down the hall and I threw up and they heard all over the restroom.
But why? But Rich,
Yeah.
if he had not told you it was rattlesnake, you wouldn't have had that reaction.
No, I wouldn't have.
Isn't that crazy?
He could have lied.
The mind.
He could have lied. He probably said, you know what? He's a Jew from New York, the east side. He's not going to relate to this. You know what I mean? They don't serve that at Katz's.
He could have really got you and said it was pork of some sort. Then it would have really got
Well, it couldn't have been pork, but he could have said it was like, some form of, turkey or, he could have gotten away with it. And I would have believed it.
Right.
Because it didn't taste bad. It's all mental.
It is.
It
really is.
So that ended my evening.
It is.
That was it. I had to leave.
It is.
I said, listen, I know everyone heard me. I apologize.
But
the whole place heard me
dying.
The hell
out of Dodge.
Yeah, dying. And I just said, I'm going to leave now. And I don't know.
God only knows what the next course would have been.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm serious. This is a true story. And I left and I went to Burger King on Miami Beach. I had to get something in my system, like a Coke, So I got a Coke, fries, and a burger on the way home. Which, by the way, I'm not big on Burger King. But so anyway,
thankfully they're not a sponsor of the show. You've said that.
No, they're not a sponsor of the show. Are they? No, they're not.
No,
I've always liked Burger King.
Yes.
How could you not like a King?
Yes, I always liked the caps.
You rule.
Oh, I always liked the King caps that they would give you. The paper caps. That was
It was wonderful.
But you mentioned mental.
Yeah.
I am mental about the World Cup coming to Miami, and in about let's see, what time is it? In about an hour, a little less than an hour, they're going to be announcing the draw. Miami is going to be hosting quarterfinal games and a medal game for the bronze medal at Hard Rock Stadium. I'm not a soccer fan, I'm really not. My love of sports is more football, basketball, kind of there, but soccer is this event. The Super Bowl pales in comparison to the World Cup. And I know you're a guy who's dealt in business, trade.
I was a very famous soccer player. I was the youngest Jew to be on a soccer team. No, really.
Really?
I did.
No kidding.
No, I did. I played soccer at Seward Park High School in New York City.
Okay.
We didn't have a soccer field, but we did it in the cafeteria because it was the biggest room we had. And it was interesting.
But what do you think about the World Cup coming? Are you excited about it?
Yeah.
I mean, what, give me your take.
I'll tell you why. Here's the deal. Going back to the 90s, there's a woman, a professor of business. This is really a serious conversation I'm going to have. Okay. This is serious. You can get credit for this. Rosabeth Cantor is a professor of business at Harvard. She wrote a book called World Class. Charlotte Gologly gave me the book. World Class.
World Class.
World Class. You can get out. Go to Amazon. It's there. You can actually just go to Amazon and look at it. You can get the précis and you'll understand what it's about.
Right.
So I got the book and I read it. I actually met her. She came down here and she spoke at one of the World Trade Centers because I've been involved with the World Trade Center since '89.
Yes, long time.
Yeah, along with Dante and others. So we're a world-class city. We're one of the few cities in the world, like Hong Kong and Boston and London and places, France, Paris, that are world-class. Okay, we are. Soccer and sports particularly really is a vertical that's very important to making a city world-class, along with a strong banking and finance, along with a port, a major port, getting back to the Cava thing, major airport. Right. All of that provides the nuance that makes us a world-class environment. So So I look at it not so much as the sport, because I don't like the sport. First of all, I'm out of breath when they're running. It's the longest field I've ever seen. Have you noticed that the Jewish players take a bus?
they
They take a bus.
really,
They don't
yes.
run. No, they wait. They go, wait. Some guy shows up with a little thingy. Yeah,
yes.
a freebie.
Right.
They get on it and then they go down the field because that field is so long. I mean, it's not like a football field.
Right.
Football field, I could actually run a football field in a day.
Plus in soccer, it ends in an exciting 1-0 game. Like, holy crap.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. And then I don't understand a game that you can't use your arms, which actually then, if we had people who have no arms, they can play that sport.
Yeah, I knew
as long as they can run.
I will say this. So I knew a girl once that didn't use her arms, and she was amazing, just amazing.
Okay, we're going to be right back. But first, a word from Viagra. I heard she was too, and a lot of the boys like it.
Yes.
So, but I look at it as an economic point of view. That's my point of view.
100%.
Yeah. And the numbers in soccer, if you look around the world, are staggering.
Well, let me tell you this. This will be maybe interesting to you. So, I'm in the vacation rental business. We manage hotels. The OTAs, the Expedias, Booking.coms, Airbnbs of the world, they've been having online and in-person meetings with some of the companies like ours in the market to train us and edify us on what this means to our business. And these are, platforms that have been part of World Cups all over the world. So they understand how people are coming in, what the travel patterns are. They understand what the amount of money people are spending in markets to come to these things. Mm-hmm. And just the sheer fact that they're so, hands-on with trying to edify us on what this is going to mean to us and other, in other businesses, restaurants and obviously hotels and all different types of businesses, shops and bars and whatnot in the community. It tells me that this event is bigger than anything we've ever seen in Miami, which is an event city. I mean, that's what we are, an event city.
It is it's remarkable. If you look at, for example, with Millet on the soccer team down here, and we had him on the cover of Global Miami 2 years ago. And he alone completely changed the nature of soccer in South Florida, because it was what was borderline okay became super successful. You couldn't even get it. You pay $1,200 for a ticket up in Broward County.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just crazy.
And it's funny because I've been in this business a long time now. And when LeBron James was playing here, we saw the dynamics of people coming here just to watch LeBron James play basketball. We see the same thing with our soccer team.
That was the magic of the Heat.
Yeah.
I mean, they had such personality. I thought that was brilliant marketing.
Yeah.
They had we knew a lot of them. They were remarkable guys. And my friend was actually the president of the team. And so when you look at what Millet did into local soccer, the point of the matter is that we're a city and we're a county and we're a state of we're getting back to immigrants, of people coming here from all over the world. So no, soccer is it's gigantic. It's going to employ people. It's sort of like we were trying to get the free trade area of the Americas to come here a while back, and I was on that. Jeb put me on that committee with Jorge Arizurieta and others, and the trickle down effect for that alone would have been enormous in all the different areas. I mean, even at the pizza stores, right, with more people being here, more offices being here, Staples and all that. It was a great thing. It was just remarkable that the average person on the street would benefit from it. In terms of soccer,
yeah, I mean, you're right. Listen, you're right. These guys like Lionel Messi, they are international stars, right? Messi, they're international stars. And Messi is bringing people here.
Messi, my apologies.
No problem. But they are bringing people here. And the World Cup, especially going on in June and July, when, our business kind of wanes during those months, as opposed to the high season.
A little bit. You're right. But when you look at trade never stops.
Yeah.
And that's why trade overtook tourism and retirement. the death industry still works anyway. But and it doesn't stop, even with hurricanes and even with Andrew. Trade never stopped. The
Right.
airport the next day was still functioning. The port was still functioning. One terminal got screwed up after Andrew. So the point of the matter is that it's a great opportunity, and we want that. Why would we want it to go to any other city?
Exactly.
You know, and Miami has that brand. I mean, getting back to Cobb and all this other stuff, Miami is a branded city. It's the most hot city in the world right now.
Yes.
People want to be here for all these good reasons, and we want them to come here. I wish we could talk about in the future maybe affordability in terms of
Yes.
housing. That's our biggest problem. I sat with Ken Griffin and talked to him because we were on a panel together way back, along with his CFO. And the biggest complaint that he had is that my people, average people, can't find a place
places
to live. So people are living out in Miramar. I mean, Miramar being downtown Miami,
or
crazy.
down in
Or
Homestead.
Homestead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, you know, it's funny when I interviewed Eileen Higgins, the presumptive, I think she'll be the next mayor of the city of Miami. She said that that's her top priority is affordable housing. And we have so many municipalities, a county and municipalities that are sitting on land that should be used for that purpose. Right?
If we do it right.
Yes.
You know, if we do what New York did, New York created all the stuff and then it went to shit. Because when people don't own it and don't pay for it or whatever the situation is, that's public housing.
Yeah.
But we need affordable housing.
Yeah, for sure.
So it would help the middle class dramatically. And you get more people coming here. And I think you want that. I think you want an expansion of the middle class. I mean, it's a stabilizing environment. You don't want to have what other countries have is a handful of people, billionaires control, like Latin America when I did Latin CEO. You know, 2% of the wealth in Latin America controls 80% of the wealth in Latin America. And the power they have is unbelievable. Like at the level of Cisneros when Gustavo, when he was alive, who was a friend of mine. So I think having soccer, having things that relate to that, being part of an international branded city, creating jobs, it creates jobs. It's wonderful. It spurs real estate because you have to have real estate. You know, we have the healthcare system to help. It'll help the educational system. These are all the verticals that make us a world-class city. So why wouldn't we want to have, you know, FIFA and World Cup and all this other stuff?
And you know, at the end of the day, FIFA's here because of what you said, because this is Miami. This is a world-class city. There's a reason why they chose Miami.
We have, other than in Brazil, we have more Brazilians. Yeah. Other than Venezuela, we have more Venezuelans.
Colombians.
My God, everyone thought when I lived on Key Biscayne, I was Colombian. I walked around, I had to pretend my nose was dripping. You know, it was horrible. But no, seriously, we speak we speak different dialectisms of Spanish.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Than any place else in the world. So it's a remarkable environment. We're a global city. We're branded. People want to be here. Everything benefits. We all benefit as a result of, you know, World Cup coming here.
Well, so I'm excited about it. Clearly you are as well.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
I hope you're excited. I want to thank you. I hope you were excited to come into the man cave today.
I was excited to come in the man cave.
Wonderful.
I didn't like having to take a shower before I came in. I just want you to know.
Well, we do that with everyone. I want you to know.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, you can't tell anyone where this man cave is located because
I couldn't because I got lost.
You did get lost.
So I as far as I'm concerned, I'm in Palm Beach.
You have no idea.
No idea where I am. Not a clue.
Well, my good friend, famed publisher, famed radio talk show host,
Thank you
my
so
buddy
much.
Rich Roffman. Thanks so much for joining us here on Miami's Man Cave today. And thank you for watching. We're going to have more of these great shows coming on, and hopefully Rich is going to do some programming here in the cave as well.
We are.
We'll see how that turns out. But thank you for joining us on Miami's Man Cave, and we'll see you next time.